Hi Gypsies, this is Joy, and I'm going to be doing a reading today. What are your special qualities? And I like this kind of reading because the way I'm going to do it is sort of in a dual way. I mean, everybody's glad about certain aspects of themselves, but there's also a shadow side to everything. For instance, people can say that you're a very generous person. Well, that could also have a shadow side where you don't ever reward yourself or those close to you. And it might be because you just like the kudos that you get from being generous. And so, anyway, that's what I'm going to explore at both sides of the traits that I'm seeing. So let's get started, Gypsies. Group 1 is citrine, Group 2 is crystal, and Group 3 is aventurine. Hi Gypsies, you chose the yellow, they call this a wand, although I can't imagine going like this. This is an amber, and it's really... Actually, no, this is citrine. This is citrine. Citrine, yes. But I think it's a really, really pretty stone. I like that. So let's start and see what your special qualities are, special traits. And I'm just going to ask Archangel Raphael to help me with this reading so that it will be as helpful as possible for anybody watching this. Okay? All right, here we go. Oh, all right, interesting. Oh, okay. These both have... Okay, I'm getting it. Okay, these both, and I'm going to push this down so you can see this cards better. You see these two cards? To me, they look a lot alike. They talk about being regal and being sure-footed, and the Justice card right here talks about you feel the need to make sure everybody is having a fair share, and so you feel that very strongly in your life. I wouldn't be surprised if you're some kind of an authority figure. You could either be in politics, you could be a police officer, but it looks like you have a very firm belief in wanting to right wrongs and make sure everybody's on an even keel. Now, the shadow side over here, this card here, what I'm getting with this one is you can be exhausting yourself. There's a lot of things in this world that could be rectified, okay, because they're not fair. And it feels like you're telling yourself, or you're feeling, maybe even subconsciously, that you can do more, and you're exhausting yourself. So that's the shadow side of this Justice card in this reading anyway. So that's what I'm feeling like for this group. So let's get a little more... Okay, on that side. Okay, and then this is in reverse, and that's in reverse. That's interesting. It's interesting because on this side is the shadow aspects of your quality, and the two cards that I pulled for the shadow part of your quality are upside down. Isn't that interesting? So let's go first to maybe like the positive aspect of this. We've got the transformation card. That's beautiful. I love the green and the black together. I love colors. And this one is rest and rejuvenate. Okay. So, yes. Okay, so what I'm getting is it's very important for you to transform what you're seeing, what you consider injustices. It's something that you live for, it's something you believe in. Yeah, and they're saying rest and rejuvenation is very important for you. You have a tendency to look at everyone else, and and it's good because you want to fix things, but you're not thinking of yourself and your health, and maybe even your family that's not perhaps seeing you as much as they could because you are so involved in these other activities to right the wrongs. Okay, now this Destiny card is upside down. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so I'm feeling like, yes, this was your destiny to do this, to help people, okay? But what I'm feeling like with this card is you're starting to disappear. Do you see this? You're giving so much of yourself away that you're starting to disappear. All right, and then your chakra, your base chakra, is upside down too. Now, I believe they're talking about the root chakra. So yeah, it feels like you're becoming unbalanced. You're not resting, and you feel like the more you rest, the more things are not getting done. The more injustices that are happening. This can definitely be a double-edged sword. Definitely. Something that you've got to watch for some of you in this group 1. All right, let's do these remainder cards. Ace of Swords, and this is upside down. Two of Swords. Page of Pentacles, upside down. Okay. I might get these cards out of the way here, or this deck, just so I can have some room. I like this table, but it's a little bit small. Okay, so we'll put this over here. All right. Ace of Pentacles, but it's upside down. The Moon card, upside down. And the Nine of Pentacles, upside down. All right off the bat with this Moon card, I thought this was interesting. Do you remember on the Destiny card over here on the shadow aspect of this trying to help people, losing your way, losing yourself within this? Well, it feels like with this Moon card, that's what's happening as well. You're turned in so many different directions. You feel like so much is wrong. You can't fix everything. You just can't. And I'm afraid you're overextending yourself. And it might not just be unfair to you, it's unfair to those you know. If you've got a family, if you've got children, a wife, or a husband, it feels like you're asking them to play second fiddle too. You can help people, and probably more, if you're rested and you're thinking clearly. If you're feeling like you're not doing enough, and you are not getting enough rest, you're not coming up with the best decisions to even help. So in the long run, it's going to be better if you relax, meditate, do whatever you need to do to relax, actually. Yeah. I'm feeling like with this group, with some of you, especially with this Ace of Swords, you're not thinking clearly. You're not. You are starting to really exhaust yourself. Do you see how her sword is not straight up and down? It used to be, but she's exhausting herself. It's turning sideways. Okay, and in this case, this Two of Swords feels like for some of you what this is talking about is you just can't hear all of these things that are wrong anymore. It's just getting to you. This is just getting to you. And this Page of Pentacles, this is upside down as well. This is something to do with abundance in your own life. This little tendril of abundance that's trying to get in there and it can't. This young little tendril, I don't know if it was an idea that you had and you've totally lost it. You're not thinking about it anymore. Yeah. And any new ideas of abundance it's just not getting in. This is upside down as well. Page of, it's just not coming in because you're not receptive. Look at his face. He looks like, hey, I'm trying to give you this, come on. And you're not there to receive it. This is upside down as well. You know, for some reason I'm seeing St. Patrick of Assisi. That was weird. I don't know what that was about. This looks like somebody that has amassed some abundance, but it's upside down. Yeah, so all of these abundance cards, you're just not receiving. It feels like you're not taking care of yourself, and you've got this wonderful quality of helping people, feeling like you want to be there. Somebody that wants to get them justice, and yet on the other side, you're exhausting yourself with this. If we had the Temperance card, we would talk about you being more at an even keel with this. So this is a very positive aspect of yourself, but you've got to watch this shadow side. Okay? All right. Well, thank you, Group 1. That's great. And give me your name and phone number, and I'll get you whenever I get into legal trouble. I'll give you a call. I'm just kidding. So we'll go on to Group 2 now. I appreciate it. Thank you, Group 1. Bye, Group 2. The question that we're answering is, what is your important quality about yourself and the shadow side of it? So let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to flip this down so you can look at the cards better. Okay. Knight of Cups and Judgment there. Okay. Here's the Knight of Cups. And the Judgment card. You know, it feels like you're a great communicator. You want to enlighten people. And the shadow part of that, it looks like, is they're talking about gossip. I'm feeling gossip in this particular card, in this case anyway. I'm feeling like paying the piper, talking maybe too much, talking out of turn. But you can be a lot of fun, and you can enlighten a lot of people, and it's a great thing, actually. But you've got to watch that going over. Saying things that maybe people don't need to hear, and it's more of an ego-driven kind of thing rather than to help them. So you've got to watch that. Okay, prosperity begins. Choose wisely. Solitude and the sacral chakra. Okay, so yeah, it looks like you want to help people achieve wealth. It feels like you're some kind of a person in the public eye. You could be like a realtor. You could be somebody that helps with money. It feels like you meet with people a lot. So they're saying you've got to choose wisely with what you're telling people. Don't run too much off. I mean, you do a lot of good. You do a lot of good. You bring a lot of happiness to people. But you've got to watch going over. If something doesn't feel right, saying, stop. Just stop. Another thing is, and I've had this happen to myself, because I have a tendency to talk too much as well. So I was about to say something to somebody, and the phone rang. This was in an office, right? The phone rang, so they had to go pick up the phone. So they got off the phone, and I was going to say it again. And then something else happened, another distraction. Somebody was at the door, or the boss wanted to talk to this person. So there were a couple of interruptions. And if I really would have gone with my gut, I would have known this is something I should not say, and they were trying to stop me from saying it. But I said it anyway. And it came out all wrong. But anyway, so pay attention to things like that. Okay, so this is on the shadow side. What they're saying is solitude. Now, it doesn't mean that if you're in a group of people you suddenly have to walk away, but they want you to be quiet, to be solitude, to be within yourself and to listen. And it feels like your sacral is not open, and you might want to pay attention to that. This is the orange color. You could be wearing this color, orange, in order to open it. And this deals with your intuition. It feels like you're not paying attention to these signs that you're getting. Everybody's got an intuition, and some people just do not pay attention to it. They don't believe it. And so, like me in that one instance that I was telling you about. So pay attention, and it will give you the information that you need. All right, so let's go here. Page of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, King of Wands. This is interesting because these are 3 court cards. And in this case, it feels like we're talking about you're surrounded by a lot of people. Okay, let's go over here. 4 of Wands. The Chariot. And 8 of Wands. Okay. And I don't think I showed you this. Okay, this is what I'm getting with this one. See this Page of Wands? Blowhard. See, talking and not really saying anything. This is not to say they're wanting you to be quiet. That's not what this is talking about. They're just saying be a little more cautious with the volume of what you're saying, who you're saying it to, and what about. Because you do a lot of good. You do a lot of good. A lot of what you say helps people with abundance. As I say, you're a realtor. You're somebody that has you are somebody that's got information that can help people. But just be cautious in what you do, and sometimes sit it out if it doesn't feel right. Don't steal other people's thunder or their fire. If they've got something that obviously you can tell they want to talk about, you let them have their time as well, and sit and be quiet in solitude. Okay. Yeah, surrounded by people again. And this 4 of Wands, and let them have their day. Let them have their day too. The Chariot is about moving forward without all the physical aspects of your body, making it move forward using your mind. So instead of you know, talking and being ego driven with the talking, you could just let your mind rest, and it can still move forward. You can still move forward with what needs to be done. You just don't have to talk so much. All right, Eight of Wands. Oh, that's interesting. They've got an all-seeing eye on the ship. Yeah, this feels like, in this case, and it was right side up, it feels like in this case they're talking about communicating once again, which is what you're really, really great at. And these are dolphins that communicate, what is it, with the noises that they make? Sonar. And so they're talking about, you know, using that method of communicating, but in synchronicity with other people. Do you see how the dolphins are together? So don't be by yourself and be thinking of yourself and what you know and all of that, and be by yourself. Be with everyone, and let them have their day. Let them talk about what they need to talk about. Don't steal their thunder, and you can bring abundance to people, which is what this wonderful aspect of yourself is. That's a wonderful part of you, and it's a strong part of you, is to be a great communicator. So just watch being over communicated. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. Well, you know what I mean. Don't don't talk too much, and especially when it's obvious that you should not be talking. Okay, so that was interesting. Thank you, Group 2. That was great. If you like this reading, please leave a comment. Click on my bell and whatever that stuff is, so that you'll know when I do another reading. Okay? Thank you so much, Group 2. Bye. Hi, Group 3. What we were asking today is, what special quality do you have, and what are the shadow aspects of that quality? So let's begin. Let me move this table. And I'm going to bend this down so that you can see the cards better too on this surface. So don't think that I like lost you. Okay, here we go. Alright. We've got Ace of Pentacles upside down. Page of Wands. And this is upside down as well. Okay, so in this case, it feels like what they're talking about is the fact that money is not an important thing to you, which is not a bad thing at all. You like to use up old things, you like to reuse things, you like to use vintage items. You don't like to throw away things that can be, used again. And of course, there is a shadow aspect to this as well, because this can be really wonderful. It helps the environment and all of that. But in this case, it looks like you're not seeing the forest for the trees in this case. So what's happening is, okay, this is what I'm getting. Oh, I hope this isn't true. Okay, so what I'm getting at is, have you seen the show Hoarders? So all they're saying, and it's not to say that that's what's happening here, okay? Boy, I hope that doesn't sound too rude. What they're saying, though, essentially is, you've got to think about what your actions, what effect they're having on your family and on your community. And so, like in Hoarders, I mean, you start with a really good a really wonderful aspect of these people where they care about the environment, they care about reusing things. However, they do it in such a manner where they've got things everywhere, all over their yard, and maybe rats are climbing around in there, and then the rats are going over to the neighbor's yard. So, okay, and I'm hearing being cheap with your family. So, I'm in no way saying that this is a bad thing. I think this is a wonderful part of yourself. As a matter of fact, I like this very much, that you're so handy and you don't like to, have a big footprint on the environment and so forth. I think that's wonderful. But there's always a shadow aspect to all qualities, whether it's, so there's not necessarily good or bad. It's just maybe how far you're taking the quality, okay? So let's choose these. Suffering and silence. And disruption. Okay, and that's upside down. And this again is the sacral chakra and the base chakra. And that is right side up. Okay, so all right, so it sounds like you're the kind of person that likes to think about other people in terms of okay. All right, okay, so this is what I'm seeing. All right, that makes sense. So you have a way that you see yourself, and you see other people, and in your mind, because of your thoughts, it's become this barren landscape. It's not joyful anymore. The thoughts that you're having when you're judging other people and how they're throwing away things and how they're wasting things. And so you're standing back and you're looking at all this and you're not saying anything, and you're coming from a place of judgment here. And this is an ego-driven kind of thought that you're having about other people. Okay? Yeah. And this is upside down as well. It feels like this kind of thinking is disrupting your world. It's tearing you apart. Okay. Okay, so yeah, and it looks like once again your sacral chakra is closed. But you are grounded, and your sacral is dealing with your intuitive processes. It sounds like you've got some kind of an emotional thing going on right here. Okay, yeah. Oh, and actually, I am getting, for this card right here, this is also, you like to put together things that are broken. And so, in this case, this is yourself, though. It's not going to be as easy as what, as material kind of things have been for you to put together again. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with, you living in the woods and you having a small footprint on the earth and all that, but it feels like this has gotten to the point now where you're you're not helping yourself, and you're not even helping the planet because of judging other people. And you can move this movement along a lot better if you're not confrontational, if you do it in sort of a way where you're not picking people apart, because they can feel it. And this is a wonderful part about you, that you care so much about the environment. This is it's really wonderful. But you've got to watch that. Ace of Swords, Justice, Four of Wands, King of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles. All right. So, wow. You know, it's so interesting because I shuffle really, really well, and I don't even pull out cards sequentially. I pull them out from all areas of the deck, and yet I believe one or two of these cards have come up all three readings, which I find very wild. Okay, so this jumps up at me immediately. This is upside down, and this is the Justice card. You're not getting the justice that you want to with this because of the way you're going about it. Like I say, everything is not black and white. And these other people can feel you judging them. And you're not going to get anybody to do what you want by sort of forcing the issue, which is what you're doing. You're surrounded by a lot of people that are angry with you for this, and they don't feel like you're being fair, and they feel like you're picking on them. Wow. Okay. Watch how you're speaking and thinking about people in terms of this. Okay. Yeah. There are things that you can do. You can be very cautious about what you say, how you say it. So before you talk, think about it. Think about what you're saying and the effect it will have on people. And actually, they're suggesting that you sort of work with people instead of judging them and telling them how they're doing it wrong. Just totally don't even mention that. Why can't you work with young people and just show them what can be done? And don't mention about the carbon footprint and all that stuff. Just show them how much fun it can be to reuse items. Work with them. And get rid of this judging aspect and feeling like you're the king that knows everything. Show these kids how wonderful it is to rebuild something, to repurpose something. Show them. Don't tell. You know what? I have heard this lesson many times, and it seems to go in a lot of different directions. So I was writing like 20 years ago, and I remember one of the rules was show when you're writing, don't tell. So don't just talk about how the sky is blue and it's got a couple of clouds over here and blah, blah, blah. Talk about how it feels, how it's creating the atmosphere and things like that. When you tell, when you just use your words and tell, it becomes very boring. But if you show somebody, it creates more of an impact. It's more fun. It's more insightful. They'll remember it. So that's what they're saying here. This is a young person here who you've shown how to make something, to repurpose something, and look at that wonderful look on his face. Look at the pride. This is what you want. Well, that was unexpected. I hope that didn't come out really snotty or anything. A lot of these quote-unquote lessons that I'm talking about, I feel like they're for me too. So I hope you don't think that I feel like I'm above you or something, because as I'm talking and I'm hearing these things, it feels like it's directed at me. Like I need to watch, over talking, and I need to watch preaching to people, and so this isn't as much of a lesson for me as for you, and I appreciate and I appreciate your being here and listening to that. Anyway, thank you very much, Group 3. That was fun. And please hit my bell if you want to know when I'm going to be doing other readings. And anyway, I hope you have a great day. This is right near the end of 2020. Thank God. And here's looking for a great 2021. Bye.